What's going on, guys? Chris here, back again with another video for you guys today. EA Sports have come out with some new quotes in the mirror that we have to talk about and why a lot of the things that they said are just not true. We're going to be talking a little bit about the whole EA gates and just everything around FIFA right now. The last 2 to 3 weeks have been a really hard time for everybody in the FUT community. So we're going to be talking about that in today's video. Later tonight, we're going to have a second upload. It's going to be a FUT birthday market preparation guide talking about what you guys can do on the market over the next couple of days, how to prepare for FUT birthday, trading and investing wise. So you guys will enjoy that one. This one's going to be more so talking about EA. Before we get into the video, if you guys can just drop a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So last week, EA came out with an article in the mirror talking about achievable teams, right? Because of the whole EA gate scenario. Somebody quoted them on that, and he made a thread, Scuds TV here, and it got a lot of traction. And this is the team that he wanted to build, a 100 million coin team, which is possibly the best possible team in FIFA Ultimate Team, the top 11, okay? It cost 100 million coins. To get these guys, okay, in the team, he needs to do 916 days of gameplay 24/7, 1,650 hours of training consistently 24/7, or spending $80,000 on FIFA points. That is not realistic, that is not achievable, and that is what EA is responding to now. So in this one, there's a lot of quotes here that I just absolutely hate, okay? Here's the first set, right? The first two quotes are fine, right? For example, you can't accurately calculate how many coins you would earn from trading, as it's different skill level for trading. Yes, icon trading is different than silver trading, right? You're making a couple hundred coins a silver trade. Icons, you can make anywhere between 50k and sometimes even 100k. But again, even if we go to the max amount that you can make per icon, it still is not in comparison to what some of these cards are worth on the market and just not achievable at all. There are also aspects of the game that contribute to building your club. Yep, we get that. As importantly, FIFA is a game of skill. It's not a game of skill because you don't have a skill gap, EA. The skill of the player is the greatest factor in the outcome of matches or challenges in FIFA. A strong player can be successful whether their team is bronze, silver, gold, or a mixture of the three. The problem with this quote is that, and it's really, really bad what they've just said, you cannot run bronze squads, you cannot run silver squads, and you cannot run the majority of gold cards in this game past a certain point, because as the year goes on, the point of FIFA Ultimate Team is to upgrade your team as the year goes on. If I'm in July, or if I'm in May, with a silver or a bronze team, I'm going to get clapped every game because your game is pay to win. And this is something that they fail to ever justify, is that their game is actually pay to win. So this idea of you can have success with a bronze team, you can have success with a silver team, you can't. You absolutely can't. I did it last year. I played with a full silver USA squad. It did not work out, right? Because I lost to 7 or 8 players that I was better than, but their teams were better at that point of the year. And that's a big problem, right? Their game is pay to win. That's the biggest problem out of almost everything. You don't need the highest rated players in the game in order to win. That right there is responding to that thread. Because in the last article, now they're starting to backtrack. Now they're saying you can achieve these players with a certain amount of time exploring the market, doing gameplay, etc. But now they're backtracking. They're saying you don't need the highest rated players in the game in order to win. What's the point? What's the point of you having Moments or not in the game if people can't use him? What's the point of putting in Moments Ronaldinho in the game if nobody can find him or use him? Or if you buy those players off the market, you can have a higher chance of getting banned or coin wiped. What's the point of that? I don't understand this thought process here. EA does a lot of things they say a lot of things to say it, just in general. I don't think they think about what they're saying here. They're just trying to save face, and it's just making them look worse, in my opinion. In the real world, no football club has the world's highest rated players in each 11 positions. This is also an issue for me because you can't compare real life football, where these guys are getting paid millions of dollars and there's so much money involved with real life football, to managing my own FIFA Ultimate Team in a virtual space. That doesn't make any sense. This should never be compared to real life football, because the intricacies of real life football compared to Ultimate Team are different. It's just way different. They should never compare the two, and they are so out of touch with their community, and it shows just in those 3 quotes right there. And we move on. While it's possible to field the top 11 in FUT if skilled enough with substantive time investment, it's certainly not intended or expected that players would field a squad like this. Here's an issue though. Because this game, in the last article, I believe they referenced this, that they have 40 million active users in Ultimate Team, or just across the whole year. The hardcore base, think of the guys on Twitch, think of the guys on YouTube watching videos, think of us content creators, think about pro players. We are such a small percentage of the people that play this game, and us hardcore players play this game more than anybody, right? Most casuals are probably playing this game maybe a couple hours a day max. But for us content creators, pro players, hardcore guys, we're playing this game 7, 8, 9 hours a day. And what they're saying here is it's not intended or expected that players would field a squad like this. It should be the complete opposite. If I'm grinding more time than somebody else, I deserve to have better players because I've put more time into it. I'm not getting properly rewarded for the time spent on the game, and that's an issue. To say otherwise disrespects the many players who spend time learning and loving the game, mastering a skill move, set pieces, time finishing, pitch vision, passing lanes, working their craft, building, tearing down, and rebuilding their team like so many managers. And this is another problem. Again, they're comparing real life football to Ultimate Team. It's farther from that. It's not the same thing. Also, disrespects the many players who spend time learning and loving the game. We are on this game more than anybody, and we are not compensated fairly. Think about it from a couple different scenarios, okay? Somebody can play this game till 14 wins and FUT champions and have a higher chance of getting one of the best Team of the Week cards. That's one area. Where if I'm getting 23 plus wins, or I'm getting top 100, I'm getting Elite 1, I have a less chance to get that insane inform for each Team of the Week. Think about it from a draft point of view. First round of the draft has a higher percentage of getting a draft token back than you would get in any draft win. Why do you think that is? Because the people that are playing this game and they lose a game, EA is trying to find things in the game to keep them on it. So I've lost the draft in the first round 3 times this year. Twice I've gotten a draft token. Previous years, I don't lose the draft like a lot in the first round. I've gotten a lot of draft tokens though. From winning the draft, I probably made my money back about 5 times in 2 years of FIFA. That's kind of crazy to me, right? So the time I've spent on draft, 1/4 of the time is spent on somebody losing that game, getting more value actually back than I did when I put 4 games into it, and I was the higher skill player in all 4 games. So this whole idea of like, you know, disrespects the many players who spend time learning and loving the game, that's bullshit, because these people that are on the game loving the game 8, 9 hours of the day are not being fairly compensated with the right players and, you know, just the right rewards. So that's bullshit. Investment is a choice players can make, whatever, right? If the premise here is that players want the best players in the world on their game so they can improve, compete online, and play against the best, they can do that in FIFA for no additional investment. You can play as Liverpool, Man City, or PSG whenever you like. That's an issue, okay? That's a big issue. Because why would people... We're talking about FIFA Ultimate Team now, okay? We're not talking about, you know, any other mode but FIFA Ultimate Team. Why are you talking about online single matches? A mode that you have not changed. Doesn't even need to be changed realistically. But nobody cares about this mode, okay? Very few people are playing this, okay? People are running pro clubs, they're doing Volta, but the majority of people that are playing this game are playing FIFA Ultimate Team. And that's the idea about it. FIFA Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team is the key word there. As the year goes on, we are trying to get better players as the weeks go on. This is why the Team Week concept is starting to fade, because Team of the Weeks are not past the power curve. They're not just with the power curve anymore. So we're getting cards that are just not... The upgrades on those cards are not sufficient to where the game is currently right now. That's a big issue. And that's why a lot of these quotes, they're sort of backtracking on like the whole achievable team. Why can't I, if I'm grinding this game 8, 9 hours a day, in terms of trading, gameplay, all that kind of stuff, why can't I get moments on Ronaldinho? Why can't I get moments Ronaldo? Ever since FIFA 19, we've had these moments icons in the game. And if I'm telling you the truth, they've just brought problems to the game, okay? Now, what I was told was in FIFA 19, and this is by somebody that used to work with closely at EA, they told me that the moments icons that they dropped surprisingly in January of 2019, I think it was January, they were a surprise drop because they weren't expecting to put icon moments until FIFA 20. That was going to be like a new feature in FIFA 20. Instead, they dropped it in FIFA 19 because the engagement levels were dropping off quite massively because of the gameplay and just how bad that game was. So they brought in these moments icons to kind of help people get people back onto the game. Moments R9 has barely been on the market for 3 years now. Moments Ronaldinho has barely been on the market. Cruyff has been unachievable since FIFA 20. These cards, as each year goes on, and actually it's so funny to me too, thinking about this. 3 years ago to the day, I quoted this on Twitter actually, and I'm gonna show you guys this. 3 years ago, we got Prime Icon Ronaldo, Prime Hullet, and Prime Maldini in Icon SBCs. Now, if you go look at the value of those SBCs, people actually complained at the time, but the value for those cards are so much better compared to what we have now. Last year, there was no accessibility with Icon Moments. This year, they're doing smaller SBCs right now, but when are they expecting to release the Moments R9, the Moments Maldini, the Moments Hullet? These cards need to be accessible to your consumer base, EA Sports. They pay a lot of money. They spend a lot of time on your game. It's a 12-month game. It resets. So if I'm a consumer and I know something is resetting in September, let me play with a card for a couple months. Why is that such a big issue? It doesn't make any sense. So 3 years ago to the day, they brought these SBCs out, and we are nowhere near that sort of content anymore, okay? That's a huge issue. We've regressed in terms of accessibility with the best players in this game. It's a big issue. A lot of things going on with EA Sports right now. And honestly, they just keep making themselves look worse in the process. Even me, as like a trader myself, I had 15 million coins before Team of the Year. I could have bought a Moments Ronaldinho, and I would have had a higher chance of getting banned off this game. You put so many things in your game, so many limits, right? For example, you get a search ban for searching too many times. You get kicked out. You get capture challenge. You get actual market bans where you're off it for like 12 hours. You get bid bans where you can't bid on players or buy now players for 15 minutes to 30 minutes. If there's too many forfeits in a certain amount of games in 1 hour, they time you out. Everything in this game has a limit to it, and that's the true infrastructure of FIFA Ultimate Team needs to be reworked. Because the way that the game mode is right now is not good enough. But again, I talked about this a little bit with some people on Twitter last night. EA's model is working for them. And that is why they are so stubborn to change. The only way to change it is if they get sued for whatever particular reason, you know, talking about the loot boxes, whatever, right? That is where you'll find change. But if nobody steps forward, this game is just going to be the monopoly that it is for years to come. And FIFA Ultimate Team is going to continue to get bigger. Because if this year had 40 million active users, the next year it's going to be 45 or 50. And if their revenue last year was 1.4 billion, this year is going to be 1.8, 1.9. And that's just how it's going to go. Because their game mode is just going higher and higher and higher across the world. So it's a really poor issue. And those quotes really piss me off because they're not true. It's a pay-to-win game. And some of the things that they try to get by you just... They make you sound like you're stupid. Like, we think that that's actually what's going on in this game. It's not. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Market video will come out later tonight. And another stream will be coming out in a couple hours too. So thanks for watching. Talk to you guys in the video soon. Peace out.